Hello everyone, welcome back to another one of our classic little live streams. Today we're going to be doing a rather challenging live stream, and we're going to be operating gliders over here in Chile. The reason this is going to be probably impossible is on account of the fact that I set real world weather just for giggles, and I already know I'm going to have quite a few issues actually getting this thing in the air. For those of you who are joining us this evening, we're sitting here at Sierra Alpha 14. I pinky promise 50 to 1 that I will most likely have to slew around a little bit in order to get us to the next bit of lift, but the whole goal here is just to kind of have a nice, relaxing, kind of quiet little evening with nothing too excessive, and kind of enjoy some of the soaring that we have here. So this is a kind of unique airplane. Like I said, it's definitely an aircraft kind of a thing like that. And like I said, it's going to be a fun ride for us because we're going to have to get a little bit of assistance here with this lovely Cessna 172. I would at least recommend a 182 for this, but hey, I'm not disagreeing. All right, so let's go ahead and wiggle waggle the tail. Wiggle waggle the tail. Should go ahead and tell this guy we're ready to rock. He's going to do his little arm symbol, and we're about to go right off the runway here. 100% chance of that. Here we go. Going to go ahead and immediately start correcting into the wind here, because when he lets go of that wing, it's just going to go woo-woo. There it is. Oh my gosh. Left aileron. Whee! You have to be so careful not to drive this thing into the ground. All right. I forgot how stressful glidering can be. I haven't done a lot of glidering recently. It's more of an X-plane thing for me. All right, that's pretty good so far. I did release the parking brake, right? All right, it's going to get us airborne in a few moments. I feel so sorry for that 172 because he's about to get jerked all over the runway when I get airborne. It's about 80. Man, this is taking way more concentration than helicopter, I swear. There we go. Not chug them too much here, and we're airborne. Sweet. Now, some of you are probably like, why didn't you just use the winch? The winch will get you airborne a lot faster than this thing will. This thing's just traditional in my mind. One of my buddies actually would fly one of these, and one of the cool things in the United States is you can legally operate one of those, like Geiger glows, without actually having a commercial rating. The reason they allowed you to do that is because this is like, you're not really flying, but you're not flying anybody in the plane. Technically, you're towing the person, so it's, you can kind of get around some of the shenanigans that would normally be associated with that. So we're just going to kind of follow him for a while, and I'm not going to stress out too much here as I build up a little bit of altitude. So our destination, of course, today, I'm looking at my left wing. You can see that really big old set of mountains here. This is the southern kind of half of the Andes. And I'm telling you right now, there's no way we're going to have enough lift to get ourselves all the way over there. We're going to have to cheat just a tiny bit to kind of get back on that side of things. Once we get into the mountains themselves, it shouldn't be too bad. One thing I wish I could do is tell this guy to have an initial heading. If we did something like that, that would make this much easier for us. And he started his descent, so apparently we're on our way now. Not bad. See you later, buddy. Let's see here. Adopted egg. Fly the exact same glider flying in Australia. That is so awesome. Awesome. So first things first, we got to find ourselves some lift. And after having just released here, I'm taking a look at my little accelerometer there over there in the corner, and now I've got a little bit, but there's really not enough to kind of hang on to. And there goes our little toe there kind of disappearing. And he's saying, well, I wish I had told you a little higher. But of course, he's probably not going to have a very easy time of it. So I'm going to slowly start kind of migrating here. I'll go ahead and start cheating once I get a little bit lower to the ground here. I gotta love these things. They're just so peaceful. Oh, hello, Istanbul. Excellent. Welcome. Greetings. And we're actually enjoying this with real world weather today, which is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and tap the Y key, get myself just a little tiny bit of altitude here. We don't need excessive. Keep in mind the local altitude is already over 10,000 feet, so I'm just going to assume that they took us up to 15. There we go. Much better. So what we're looking for, dude, somebody just said I have no idea what I'm doing. That's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it too much. Like I said, none of us know what we're doing. We wouldn't normally be flying in a place like this. For those of you who are trying to do this the conventional method, like I said, you can get yourself a pretty good one. All right, we have a little bit of altitude underneath us now, which makes me feel a little tiny bit better. We want to get ourselves to our best glide speed here. Conveniently, the good people who made this thing realize you can go ahead and mark that with that little tiny arrow right there. You can see I'm actually going a little fast. That is in kilometers an hour and not in knots, which that's not an aviation unit of motion here, so I'm not 100% sure whose game they were trying to cheat here. I'm swinging this way just a little bit. And that's a little tiny updraft for us. And that'll work pretty well for now. I'm going to go ahead and give ourselves a couple taps. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, that looks pretty good. This is probably going to get us going until we reach those kind of nasty cliffs over there in the distance. And once we get to that point, we can go and do it. So the cool thing with this, Slovakia. Fantastic, Michael. Believe it or not, my whole family on my dad's side was from Czechoslovakia. Grandma actually would speak that back at home. And we have a bunch of interesting, I would call it, Christmas traditions related to coming from that side of things, which I always thought was kind of fun. There we go. Just give it a little tug right there. Nice. And you gotta admit, it's just so peaceful. You know, there's almost always like a little kind of, engine sort of droning away. In this case, you gotta do it. Yeah, for sure, Toro. This is definitely German or Swiss. It just surprises me because knots is a very universal unit. Pretty much everyone who does any sort of flying always uses knots. So like I said, it's kind of a surprise that we see something like that. Yeah, we got a little beep there. Not too bad. Just trying to feel it out, see if there's any updrafts or anything. Obviously, we got real world weather on right now, so I believe there's some thunderstorms to the south and north of us, so I really hope we don't run into those. Because those lovely little wings right there, they're going to be dangling all over the place as we kind of slowly make our way down this way. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to kind of gauge roughly where I will be able to grab myself some free lift here. That's basically going to kind of hang us up. The arrow actually is safe speed next ground, 1.5. Thank you. I appreciate it adopted. Gotcha. Awesome. Safe speed near the ground. Excellent. Thank you. Cool. So that's actually going to be safe speed because we also have something called minimum sink, which is basically going to be the speed that we drop off. But one thing I'm very impressed with is we basically can go to 0 here, which I'm very impressed with. Thanks. Great tip. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure these gliders out. These gliders have a very, very interesting little handle, by the way. It's a water ballast lever, which we have kind of a thing like that. Absolutely. Believe it or not, Toro, I think that the third live stream we ever did was something that we featured all the way in the Czech Republic, or Czechia, I should say. And we did, I think it was the southern half, and that was before I realized you could change the time of day. Just kind of one of those things. Just look at how quiet this thing is. This is amazing. Elastic Stack, of course, is a Bell 407, which they somehow managed to get up to this altitude. I am thoroughly impressed with that. Helicopters usually don't go that high. You got the right idea, dude. All you need is a little more energy than me. All right, so this is going to be a process. We're going to have to kind of consider, we'll have a bit of a headwind right now. So if I try to do anything too careless here, it's just going to get us in a situation where we're not going to make any progress. Like I said, we will slow a little bit today. Let's see here. What are we going to do here? I'm just looking for something we can grasp onto. We have a couple pretty sharp ridges over here on the left, which we probably could try to grab. The great thing about wind, of course, is when it runs into something, it basically flows like water. So if we have wind coming from here and it bumps into a mountain, it's going to tend to do one of these sorts of things, and it's going to ride back down the mountain. So the key thing is you always want to be on the lee side of any sort of cliffs or anything along those lines. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of lift there. Right there. And we're just going to scoop that up as long as we can to try to get a little bit out of it before we start coming back down. Nope, that's it. That's as much as we're going to be able to extract out of there before I have to cheat. Oh, there it is again. Come on. Not bad. Gliding collab. There's some amazing places to fly and a lot to learn about ridge lift. I totally agree, Adopted Leg. Like I said, gliders is still pretty new to me. I'm used to having something on the front that we can. Exactly. Fonny's got the right idea. Just so peaceful. And one neat thing about this aircraft as I'm slowly sinking here is one of the things I thought was really wild is there's actually a power switch here. And you're like, what's that for? Well, believe it or not, we do have a propeller on this thing. And one of the things, it's going to give me about 1 million error messages here. And that's it. Now I have the world's most aggressive propeller. Ta-da! Love it. Cheating just a teeny tiny bit here. I wonder if it's supposed to be that good. I swear I'm not cheating. There we go. One thing I'm really impressed with is the actual propeller itself. And you'll see this once it slows down, is it actually will retract back into the helicopter. Or not the helicopter. It'll actually retract back into the glider itself. Here we go. Yeah, I definitely need to get to that mountain over there, because that's probably going to be my safest bet as far as being able to get some of that lovely ridge lift here. Leave that on, click that off. There it goes. Sweet. That's just cool. Yeah, I had a feeling that a glider like this isn't quite to that level of performance. There we go. It's a pretty good glide. Right there. That should do it pretty well right there. Go ahead and take a look at our weather real quick to try to get a feel for where that wind is going to be coming from here. It's a variable at 2, so we're not going to get much of anything, actually. Oh, well. Take advantage of what I got here. Come on, mountain. Get a little bit closer. I like that. Good idea. I just wanted to see something new. And again, I can always jump up to 36,000 feet if I need to. Probably will have to. I love the fact that this thing has a propeller. They actually have gliders that have like little gasoline engines on the front of them, but this one's electric incredibly. The only problem with being an electric engine is I take a look down here on the right. You can see right now, got about 12 minutes of battery. That's it. That's as much as we get for the entire flight here. I'm just going to slowly make my way there. Gotcha. We're a bit high. Whenever you do have thermal lift and anything along those lines, you do have to be close enough to it. I'm just taking advantage of what it was. I have knocked the trim out of whack terribly. I'm going to take advantage of this little bit of lift here that I got and use it to kind of carry me up to that ridge and hope there's something coming off of it. Now, for those of you who are interested, one of the things that they did add here is if you actually pop up, not to weight balance. That's cute, as if I had engines. One of the cute things is if you actually go up to weather, there's this little button down here. And if you push that, you can actually see the thermals. Now, one of the things I was saying is I was trying to make my way aggressively towards this mountain range where I figured there might be some kind of lift. And that's good stuff right there. I'm actually looking forward to that. So fingers crossed that it hits it the way I want to. A sober ruined it. Oh no, I can't thermal. Okay, if that's the case, then we're going to have to get a lot more altitude to be able to make it all the way to our destination today. Ah, they broke it. Yeah, thanks, Adopted Egg. I appreciate the input there. Oh, I just have to get a little closer and hope I can catch a little bit. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I mean, if I were to fly and I suddenly saw lines coming out of the ground like that, I would be positively terrified. But one of the things in the real world that you can't see here very well is that, birds like to ride thermals as well as us. So one of the things you'll actually see is little groups of birds basically hovering, and that'll be the universal sign that's like, hey, there's something I can take advantage of there. Here we go. Let's see if we can get anything useful here. Not bad. That's good stuff right there. Getting about 1,500-1,600 feet per minute. That's pretty darn good. Yeah, exactly. Now, normally what we would do in this case, and for those of you who remember the earlier flight sims, the goal here would be to go ahead and basically circle. And what you would do is you'd constantly kind of circle and suck up as much of this free lift as we possibly can get. And then when we're done circling, we just kind of find the next big pocket, which will probably be, like I said, kind of south. Yeah, ridge lift is usually the way to do it. And we're getting a good amount. I'm getting about 1,500-1,600 feet per minute here, so I'm not doing too bad. Of course, I'm using the propeller to help me out, but I'm going to get as much of this as I can get. Not bad. I'm just going to kind of zigzag through it until it starts to thin out a little bit. Thank you, Ridge Lift. You're being very helpful to me today. Yeah, the variometer is positively everywhere here. I think I've lost all of the stuff that I just collected, but I appreciate the motor. Yeah, I'm climbing right out of it. Yeah, we got something at least. We got something. All right, let's bring the nose back down, pick up a little tiny bit of speed. There it is. Variometer's like, dude. So this is a bit of a tricky situation because it's a little early in the day here. So as far as, getting stuff off of those big lakes down there, probably pretty doubtful. Yeah, all right, let's go ahead and conserve my motor a little bit here. Hey, I like my little motor. I think it's helpful. I'm just enjoying the piece here. For those of you who haven't tried this aircraft in VR, you are missing out. By the way, look, 12 o'clock. Thanks, Adopted Egg. Appreciate the invite. All right, let's see if I can get this thing to behave. There it goes. Retracted. Nice. All right, we're just going to make our way as fast as we can towards that next box of lift. And we're just going to keep on proceeding. That looks like a pretty good speed right there. I'm actually going to leave the thermals visible here. It just makes it easier for us tonight. Oh man, that is amazing. Just mesmerizing. We're actually more or less on course too. So I see that little mountain right off my 12 o'clock here. It's this guy right here. I'm hoping that I can take advantage of him. Although I swear I see something right here. I'm not sure what that is. It's like a little tower. All right, let's get that nose down a little bit. And go ripping into this. Now, if you really want to terrify yourself, pull back really, really hard on the stick and watch the entire wing basically fold itself upwards. There it is. 500 feet per minute. Right there. Right there. Ah, I lost it. I was using that. Now, what I'd be very curious is for other folks who are flying with us this evening, how much of this is actually scooping up everything else? You know, is your stuff all synchronized with mine? Is it like all over the place? You know, am I the only one who sees, or is getting lift off of this particular surface? Or are you getting in other places? I'd just be curious from an algorithmic perspective, you know, how thorough or how detailed they are with a lot of those things. I'm actually going to go this way. There we go. It's just so peaceful. We never get to fly an aircraft that just goes. Like everything we normally fly is always, you know, making a bunch of racket, or it's, you know, making clanky noises or something like that. It's always kind of a mess. This is, like I said, relaxing in its own way. Kind of a fun thing you could do too is if you want to freak out. Let's see here. Nope, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to do cameras. That's actually a pretty good position. Pilots. You could actually co-pilot. Get in the back seat. They're nice enough to shut everything off back here, though, to save my battery a little bit, so I really appreciate that. Otherwise, now once you put yourself in the back seat, of course, you have to come back here and snap back to the pilot seat up in front. Interesting. Excellent tour done. I was very curious about that. Now, I feel like I'm slightly zoomed in here. That's okay, though. I need to get something. There are thermals. Come on, give me something. There it is. Nope. Well, I had something for half a second there. There we go. Yeah, I wonder if there's anything good here. I'm actually going to have to hit the prop again, I think. Give me something. Just give me something. Something I can work with here. Thank you. Nope. I had something for a second there. All right. Get out and get the electric wind. And I think my battery's dead. Nope. I have to fit the power switch here. There we go. Not bad. A lot of beeping. Lots and lots of beeping. All right, we'll enjoy a little bit of a climb here. Take advantage of our little motor. That thing is going to beep incessantly, unfortunately. What are they saying here? They're saying, what is it? Check power switch. The power switch is fine. It is. Unfortunately, you can't press one of the keys here to tell it to not do that. Lame thing. Yeah, basically what's going on here is, sorry about the beeping. But it's basically yelling at me here to check my power switch. My power switch is in the correct position here. If I click that off, that should eliminate that self. But if my power switch is on, see how it works? Come on. Ah! Look what happened when I shut it off. I killed it. I killed it. Gotta be more careful. All set. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. All right, let's start making our way kind of this way with a little bit of power that we have left. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to slew a bit here, and the reason being is I'm taking a look at what we have left for terrain. Obviously, we have this pretty tall mountain here, which is probably something good, but this whole flat spot, we basically have to get on the opposite of this mountain over on this side. So in order to make it that far, we might have to cheat a tiny bit, but that's okay. Unfortunately, they don't allow us to just push the button in like the normal one. Oh, got some good lift here. Gimme, 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 gimme. Thank you. Ah, I lost it. Oh, well. Is the propeller in the defaults? Yeah, this is whatever comes with this one. Correct. The propeller's there. Now, that beeping is actually happy beeping. That beeping tells me I'm getting some lift here. And I'm taking a look at my little altimeter, though. I'm almost up to 20,000 feet here. So we're not exactly low, which is good, because I believe it's about a 40 to 1. So that would mean, let's see here, for every 1,000 feet, that's what? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. So we can go pretty far on this. I'm going to kind of give myself a little bit here. I wonder what's left of my battery is the part that I'm more nervous about. I got 12 minutes on the battery, and the battery's fine. Cool. Keep enjoying my climb here. Okay, about 6,000 meters. Ah! Hey, remember that mountain I said wasn't going to produce anything? I was right. About 130 km, so we're not going slow here. Like I said, we need onboard oxygen and everything like that in order to survive all this anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Now, I believe the other one of the gliders does not have the propeller, but I have not spent a lot of time with that one. I just peed on somebody. I like the fire button. Good. Nice. Again, I don't know what will catch fire on this thing, but I assume if there is a fire, we don't have a lot of recourse here. Let's see here. I got about, it's about 20,000 feet. That's 20 times, yeah, 40. We can go pretty far on this altitude. But I need to get enough of it so I can basically glide onto this ridge here. Like I said, very quiet, relaxed flight today. Oh, Toro, you're getting a little low there, man. A little low. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, one thing we could take advantage of with some of these is you could actually hit some, uh-oh. Ice. Oh, see, I was right. I was right. The bridge lift isn't bad. Just a little bit more before my battery finally cuts out on me here. We're fine. Let's see, 12 minutes, 22 kilowatts, 57 RPM. Yeah, we're fine. Now, this is interesting because complex certifications and things like that and all those fun things that have accumulated now in the real world, this is, whatever that counts as having a retractable propeller. That's got to be its own thing there, but I don't think there's necessarily a type rating for it. Just a beautiful region. You know, you think we'd be like in the middle of like the desert kind of a thing, and in a way we are. Uh-oh. Me dude 666, you're getting a little low, dude. He's got the right idea though. Take advantage of any lift that you can accumulate. Of course, I've got that giant cloud right there, and that's probably going to be bad news for us, but we'll be fine, I'm sure. Sucking any bit of juice out of this propeller I can get out of it before we have to coast again. Ooh, I'll take that. Not bad. That's what I was looking for. Come on. Nice. Indeed it is. Yeah, just an amazing, like, so many cool parts of the world that, you know, I will never be able to experience in person. It's just kind of neat that you'd have a flight simulator and have the ability to basically climb up and over, and get a really, really good look at it from, like I said, a bird's eye kind of view. Although if a bird went up this high, I'd be pretty impressed. Although, holy smokes, look at the visual distance that we have here. Just don't get anything like that normally in the real world. I mean, not to say you can't, it's just not very often. A little bit more. And we'll probably cut the propeller in a second here, and we'll try to deal with all the beeping that's going to be happening in a minute. It's about 22,000 feet. Hey, how's it going? Look at how cool that is. Yeah, Kazakhstan or Turkmenistan. That would definitely have a very similar terrain there. That was just something they would use for their, what do you call? Oh, Laugh-A-Rog, you stalled. No, that's something they'd use in their promotional material there. That nice smooth camera pan of seeing somebody else gliding up at you. That's just awesome. All right, let's do a little bit of coasting and see if we can get down to that next set of mountains down there. All right. Apparently did not like that. Sorry for all the beeping, everybody. It just wants to beep a lot. Wait a minute. It doesn't stop the beeping. You think there'd just be a button to say, stop. Ah, why did I do that to myself? Oh, well. That'll take a few minutes to stop, but at least I got the beeping to stop. All right, let's go ahead and stick that nose down and build up a little bit of speed here. Start making our way down to that next ridge. Now, interestingly enough, in our real-world flying, things have been kind of quiet as far as this time of year goes. One of the downsides that I have in my particular region of the world is we have this thing called winter. And once it starts to snow and stuff like that, it's not to say you can't fly. It's just to say that a lot of your usual kind of operations that you do are just kind of severely limited. One of the simplest things that we run into, which is very frustrating, for example, other than ice, is the fact that there's snow everywhere. And when you go to operate the airplane, or you go to pull the airplane out, and you go to uncover the airplane, and you go to do a lot of those kinds of operations, it's very, very, very difficult to do them on account of the fact that you have to clean things without scraping them. And it's one of those kind of things like that. Oh, no, this is Chile. You were correct. Michael, you were correct. It's right in the title. But one of the things that you have to deal with now is you have to deal with the fact that, the plane's covered in snow, and, you're sitting there. You can't really use an ice scraper. If you try to use an ice scraper or something like that, the problem that you'd run into, of course, is you could damage the paint potentially. Toro has the right idea. He's trying to get the good lift. I'm trying to take advantage of whatever I can get up here. What I'm hoping is that cloud's going to push me upwards when I get a little closer to it. But one of the things is, like I was saying, so you clean off all the snow really carefully. We actually have a special spray that melts the snow overnight. So it's one of those situations where, you spend so much time getting the aircraft ready for that. And then the new problem you have in the winter, of course, is the airplane engines don't like starting. Oh, I missed it. You gonna give me something? Yeah, a little tiny bit. Oh, well, we'll deal. And what you would do, of course, is you'd spray the plane down, and then the following day you'd have to come back and basically very carefully with, your big mittened hand, push all the snow off the aircraft, kind of a thing like that, so that you're able to go ahead and, actually operate it for that day. And then the next issue, of course, is you can see this big scary cloud I'm about to fly into here. What I'm really, really hoping is I'll get some lift out of this cloud, because a lot of times clouds pull you upwards when you go through them. But one of the things is if you go through this, it's an iceberg. You come out the other side and they're completely destroyed. GeoGuessr? Oh my god. See, GeoGuessr is one of the few games that, as a teacher, I don't mind students playing. And one of the fun things, of course, is you look at the different street signs and stuff, and you're trying to guess exactly what it is. I was going to say Laugh-A-Rog. That reminds me. Oh, I love the speed brakes. Love the speed brakes. Usually Laugh-A-Rog is the one that's about 6 inches off my tail. We have a loaded alarm, of course. I wouldn't be surprised. And the Me Dude McDonald. Oh, fantastic. Yes. So for those of you who do not know, GeoGuessr basically gives you a random picture around the world, and you have to put a little token down to show where it is. It's kind of a neat thing, but like I said, they do a pretty good job because they're using the same photography that everybody else gets to use. All right. Let's just kind of sail on through. All right. Come on. Give me some lift. Give me some lift. Give me some lift. Right, man. Oh, hello. All right. Notice I have no attitude indicator here. So I'm on my own. I'm going to see if I flip the power switch here. I have no attitude indicator. This could be dangerous. Let's see. Airspeed's decreasing. That means I'm pitched up. Let's see here. Oh my. All right. So the airspeed's staying constant. Looking out, I need some kind of reference. I have no reference here other than the raindrops. Oh, there's a reference. I can use that. Right, this is kind of dangerous. Oh, jeez! Dude, McDonald has the right idea. I have suddenly feel the need to concentrate very hard. I have no knowledge of... I can't... there's nothing. I'm afraid to touch anything. I can see I'm starting to get a little slow. It's going to beep at me about 1,000 times. Shut this off. Hey, there we go. Of course, why would my instinct be to reach for the power switch here? I'm just really hoping. I'm looking at my airspeed, and I see my airspeed increasing, which is probably because of the propeller, not because I'm going to pitch spiral here. Oh boy, this is so dangerous. You know, I've never wanted an attitude indicator more in my entire piloting existence. This was a really bad idea. Oh, wait a minute. This is flight sim. I can just do this. Oh, there we go. Oh, not too bad. Nice. I'm just going to keep on chewing and hoping I'm going the right direction here. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. We're slowing down again, which means we're pitching up. Apparently we caught some lift there. Yes, I did turn icing off in case anybody's curious. Okay, I'm feeling a little... not safe, but, like, better. Whoa! Good job, dude. You're way more brave than I am. He looks like he's pretty straight, so I know I'm not upside down. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to fly gliders into stuff like this. We're doing fine. How am I doing on battery here? Yeah, no problem. So, Juve and Gale, could you be more specific? What exactly are you looking for in an Airbus A310 tutorial? I've actually been poking around with it quite a bit the last few days, and it's a neat plane, and it's a lot like the other Airbuses I'm familiar with. Obviously, it's got some new personalities, but what specifically are you looking for? Hey, we're okay. We're okay. We're going to get through this. Very peaceful flight today. We're just about through the worst of it. Of course, keep in mind, with the temperature outside, I would have turned into an ice cube and fallen off the sky and snapped the wing. But I'm going to take my victory for what it was, because it's a victory as far as I'm concerned. There we go. So Toro just commented on the fact that his glider turned into ice cream. That's a great way to think of it, actually. It is definitely, it would have turned into ice cream through that cloud for sure. But it looks like we got through, and I hate to say this, but we might actually be able to make it without cheating. Like, I'm starting to get, like, that uneasy confidence that we may actually make it to our destination. Like, I didn't expect it, but I think we can. So, let's see here. Junior's talking about the FMS and the 310. I actually find the FMS isn't bad. It's easier than something like on a Dash 8, which is just the world's most complicated FMS, in my opinion. But if you want some FMS tutorials, I'd love to, because, you know, avionics is my thing more than gliding for sure. Me, dude, you're having a much more fun time than I am down there, I guarantee it. I'm just going to finish powering out through this. This is one great thing about an electric motor. It's immune to running out of air. Look at that beautiful round. Look at the rainbow. It's a circle. Now, let me ask a Junior as well as a Jeevan there. Sure. No, I definitely will. What I should do is we haven't done anything on VATSIM in a very long time, so it might be a good time to try some things out on VATSIM again. The Airbus A310 it's a lot of airplane for one pilot on VATSIM, but I certainly could give it a try. All right, that's pretty good. Ready for 1,000 beeps per second? I think the trick here is you just keep clicking on it until it leaves you alone. Man, that thing takes a really long time to slow down. All right, how are we doing here? I got to get a little bit of altitude. So basically, for those of you following along as far as our destination goes, we're actually doing really well. Our destination is basically right on the other side of this ridge. So I somehow have not messed this up. I'm really surprised. Guess it helps doing the math. Helps doing the math. You got to shut down, or you just going to sit there and make a lot of beeping noises for me? Yeah, man. Got it. Sweet. All right. We are deployed, and I'm going to start making my way. I guess we have to start thinking about landing. Wow. I didn't realize I was going to make it. I'm really surprised by this. Of course, the person in my back seat right now is peeing themselves just a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so let's see here. What do we need to do to get this to work? So is it this ridge or is it this ridge? Because it'd be a real shame if it was this. Yeah, it has to be that ridge. There's simply no way you're going to get an airport in the middle of this here. So we definitely have to make our way down that way a little bit. All right, FMS. I can definitely do FMS stuff for the Airbus A310. It will not be next week. I've already built the videos and stuff for next week, so unfortunately I will not be able to put that together at that time. One of the great things we have coming up is I get a nice Christmas break from work, which is awesome. So I'll have some time to kind of put together some more technical stuff together. But the Airbus it's neat. And one of the things I'm going to complain about the Airbus before I even start flying it is the fact that my frame rate is not great. Like I'm getting, 120, 200 frames per second kind of a thing, but I will get 40 or 30 or even 25 with the Airbus. There's just something about the way that they modeled it that just does not work well for my computer. There's just something with the systems. I can't put my finger on it. So everybody will have to be a little extra patient with me for some of that. Now, fun fact, I have a really bad tail bend injury from many years ago, and this seating position where you put your legs up and over would be impossible. I just couldn't do it. It would just, I can't even imagine. I think we're going to make it. I honestly think we're going to make it. This is incredible. I don't know how we're going to get over this ridge right here, but I think I have a little bit of battery left, so we could probably power over the top of it. So let's just keep on gliding and cross our fingers here. Oh, man, this is awesome. Of course, I should never say I think we're going to make it because that probably was my first mistake here. Also, don't cycle the air brakes just to make sure they work, because that last little bit of energy might have been the amount that we needed. Toro, you are far more brave than I. Much, much more brave than I. Well done. Love this. I absolutely love this. Now, one of the interesting things is I was actually reading some of the most recent add-ons that they're putting into Flight Sim. And now one of the ones that they added, just for those of you who are keeping track of these things, is they added the Wilga, which is this, I don't want to be wrong as far as what Eastern European nation that it came from. I believe it's Polish. And it's like way horribly overpowered like bush plane that's like the size of a Cessna 172. So it's one of those like, man, I am very, very, very tempted to scoop that one up. This is so cool. So cool. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to go. Oh, no, Toro got way, way too brave there. Hey, I've been legal this entire flight so far. Somehow. I don't think I'll be able to continue being legal. Like, I don't know how we're supposed to get over that ridge right there. Like, I'm going to do the best I can to get over that thing, but I have no guarantees that I'm going to be able to get it safely. What I really was hoping to do is kind of do like one of these things, but I just couldn't find a good set of runways where we didn't have to cheat massively there. I'm a little disappointed on that Cessna 172 that towed us, though. I really wish you gave us a little more altitude. What they should do is allow us to be towed by the, what is it? What's that hypersonic? The glider? That could be kind of fun. Junior asks, would you say the Airbus A310 is closer to the 320? I think the big thing, Junior, is that the 310 is just older technology. So a lot of what you're used to, a lot of kind of the operations, and a lot of the simplifications, I hate to say that because the Flight Sim's default 320 is a little simplified, kind of get in the way. Like, it's just different. If you're really, really good flying the 320, the 310 isn't a jump, other than the electronics and things being kind of in different things. Yes! So I was right. It is Polish. I got it right the first time. Thank you, Toro. When it comes to flying the two, I prefer the 310 over the 320. I find that the 320, as amazing of an aircraft as it is, like absolutely unbelievable aircraft, it's just, I don't know. I find the electronics get in the way, and the 310 is just slightly more manual in that regard. Wilco is a Polish short takeoff. Yes, I was right. Thank you, Michael. But that one had just come out. I think Just Friends is the ones who put it together. And man, oh my gosh. That's not something you see every day. There's my screenshot. All right, let's go ahead and take us down. We're going to need some more energy. I'm calling it right now. Warsaw, nice. One of the things, for those of you, the engine on the Wilga, by the way, I believe is an M13P, or it's one of the derivatives of it. That's basically a Soviet-era radial engine, and I'm always so tickled by it because it shows up on, like, the Yak, I want to call it the Yak 52, but I could be wrong on that one, Yak 50, one of the two. I'm going to get it wrong. Oh, well. But it also shows up on a couple other aircraft of that particular era, and it's such a cool engine. Ooh, we're actually getting taken by the wind here a little bit. Oh, boy. All right, so let's play the game here. So I have two choices, actually three choices. I could aim for this ridge, I could aim for this valley, and I could aim for this ridge here. The one like this. Hey, Rick. Wonderful, Rick. Yeah, we're gliding, and so far I've been completely legal somehow, except for the first time. But shh, nobody knew about that. So my instinct is to go for this ridge and then come down into the valley. This one feels like it's just a little bit lower. But the other thing too is I can't see what's kind of between us that we can kind of take advantage of. So I'm just gonna gently come this way and cross my fingers like crazy here. There we go. Very nice. We did a later stream today. My last 2 weeks have been ridiculous. For those of you who know my chosen profession, you know exactly how ridiculous it can be. So it's one of those things where it's just this time of year is always extra difficult. Hey, this looks familiar. Trying to make it easy for you. We're going to try to make it, but I'm telling you right now, I'm looking out the window, and there's no way we're going to get to that. Oop, got a little taste of lift there. Just can't get over how quiet this is. This is so weird. How's the person in the Bell 407 doing here? Easy. Oh, we got something. We got a taste of something. I think we're gonna make it. Oh my gosh, I'm actually kind of excited. Like, I did not think we were gonna make it. Shouldn't be saying that yet, though. We're not there. I've already dumped my ballast like 20 miles ago, so that probably helped. So Tordon asked an excellent question there. It's like, what do you teach? I actually teach technology education. So for those of you international, it's basically, right now it's like computer science, video, robotics. I teach a little aviation sometimes. We also do things like, what else was the other fun one that we did? I used to do like wood shop and things like that, but that's all shifted. Oh, welcome Snoozy Best. Oh, I don't even want to know, Rick. My mistake, though, is I teach both college as well as high school, so it makes things kind of fun. It's like you get a bit of both, like, oh, what a great week. Let's go see how the college students are doing. It's like, oh, they're making me crazy. Oh, nope, now the regular high school students are making me crazy. It's great. Such a great profession. All right, see that? I shouldn't have left that turned on, but I don't know. I feel like we can get away with this. The fun thing, oh, welcome back, by the way, AB Photos. I remember what you did in France. One of the fun things, with teaching, of course, is I've got 1,000,001 teacher stories. And like as we're slowly gliding here, I'm trying to think of what's the most appropriate for a live stream. Because one of the things is I teach high schoolers, in the United States, that's 14 through 18-year-olds. And 14 through 18-year-olds, it's a really, really interesting time in a person's life. There's a lot of transitioning. They're discovering who they are. And one of the fun things is that the front part of the brain that's responsible for like decision making, the executive functioning, it doesn't work yet. So when it comes to fun stories in a high school scenario, whoa boy, anything you can think of, it definitely happened. Let's see here, teachers like that. Yep, I never heard of that, but it seems like the Act 52. Yep, thanks, Mike. So, Junior, fun story about history teachers is when I was back in elementary school, actually, not middle, this would be middle school, they give out awards at the end of the 8 years because it was a private school, and I got the history book award. So when it was time to decide what kind of teacher I wanted to be, I wanted to be either a music teacher, history teacher, or technology teacher. In my country, if you're a history teacher, you go out feet first, which means there are 0 jobs for history teachers. It's just not a thing you can get a job in. It's basically brute luck if you get a history job. So I was like, well, that's out. I guess I'll go do technology because I certainly like technology. And I haven't looked back. I've enjoyed it to death. Technology is wonderful. I love being in teaching it. I think, the students are great. One thing I always love about this and just teaching in general is you get to meet some of the most incredible people. And you also get to learn things. Like, you think you know a lot about something, and then somebody surprises you. It's all about kind of having that open mind. And then, of course, the next day, whatever you learned that made you feel smarter, you immediately turn around and try to use in class. So it's like, see, one of those. Look at that. I'm even better than I was before. And I've always liked that aspect of it. I'm looking at this right here. This reminds me, that texture reminds me of something very specific, but I'm not going to think it too loudly. I'm just going to kind of come think down here. All right, so our destination, I'm actually going a little off course here because I'm trying to get to that mountain, and we're doing okay. Like, we are actually, like, really, really killing it today. I am so impressed with this aircraft. It is much, much better than I thought it was going to be. Oh, man, this is so incredible. Should have done it in VR, but y'all would have quit a long time ago because it's going to make you puke. Ah, some fresh lift for us. Thank you. Very good, very good. Tiny. Of course, if we have to, we can always ditch too. But do you have any idea how many days walk it's going to be to get into town? Not to mention, what do we got here? 20,000 feet above sea level right now. So, yeah, that's going to be really miserable for us. Let's see. Physics and chemistry, math teacher, mother-in-laws. Wow, AB photos, you have the entire teaching clan there. That is awesome. I really like physics because a lot of technology is just applied physics. Nope. I thought it was going to be good, but it turned out not to be. Oh well. Got a little taste. We got a little taste. Loaded alarm, you are so dangerously low. Good luck. I'm not saying you're going to be bad, but like, whew, we're dangerously low. This thing is incredible. Like, I just cannot get over how far I can glide with this thing. Granted, it is not the world's fastest. It's actually going to end up being one of our longer live streams, knowing we have a little ways to go still. But I'm just so thoroughly impressed by just how far this thing has glided so far. It's just also redundant. So fun things about teachers, real fun, is, when I look back at all the years of myself as a student, I think about the ones that influenced me to go into teaching. Because you always have to go, well, why would you choose to do that? Like it's like almost any profession kind of a thing like that. And one of the things that a big influence on me was, I had a teacher who actually taught animation of all things way back in high school. Mrs. Parsons, by the way, if you want to track down where she's up to these days. But what she did is one of the greatest things was she didn't tell you how to do everything. One of the things she would do is, you have to do this activity, here's a couple tools, figure it out kind of a thing. And basically created the conditions to encourage you to figure things out on your own. Rick, we've been experimenting on the thermals, and we've discovered that these blue things, whether or not it's a thermal or a ridge lift, it does provide marginal lift, we've discovered, but apparently they patched it or something, because about a week ago, before they had that last update, it was a lot liftier. Like, you'd get right here, and all of a sudden you'd be way higher up, but it's just not doing that anymore, so I'm not 100% sure. But theoretically, we should be able to get some lift off of that. And what I'm really hoping is there'll be something right here. But I'm almost to the point where I think I can just give it full throttle and basically do one of these things to get over this valley and still be able to get away with it. I know that doesn't help, but that's the best I got so far. We got a good... Oh my god, me dude, you're much more brave than I. Same thing with load alarm. You guys have the right idea, but I've made it this far. I don't want to touch anything, if that makes sense. Of course, you also have the motor, assuming it's got any power left, so... So as I was saying, when it comes to influential teachers, so, she didn't tell us everything. She just kind of set you up and said, oh, you have to kind of figure it out as you go. Now, some people cannot tolerate that, and one thing I've learned as a teacher is people are afraid to not succeed. Like, the only thing that they can do is do it right. There's no... oh, I'm just going to try something and kind of hope that it works. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, I'll try this instead. Like that whole desire to kind of constantly be experimenting with things. It's unfortunately, I just don't see it as much as I used to, which is a shame because, I love that. And one of the things I love about this is, how much flying time I have in this glider. This is about the most I've flown in it so far, and I'm actually kind of impressed. Ooh, I'm going to go steal some of that tasty lift. Thank you. Come on. Come on. It's decent. Don't want to create any drag. One of the downsides to having these super duper low aspect ratio wing or high aspect ratio wings is they don't do well with induced lift. I'm going to come down this way a little bit. I think we've actually achieved what I was hoping to achieve. Thank you, Flight Sim, for doing things well. Because believe it or not, that's exactly what I was hoping for. Is there'd be just a tiny bit of lift that we could take advantage of over on this side. There we go. Come this way a little bit. And we'll start making our way back towards our destination here. I'm actually going to hit up the propeller again real fast. Prepare for a lot of beeping. I apologize, everybody. All right, ready for angry propeller beeping noises? Here we go. Nope, battery died. Well, the propeller's working. I'm not going to argue. Myself just a little bit of get up and go here to try to catch up to that thermal or the ridge lift there that's being represented. Just a tiny bit here. I cannot get over how fast you start to build up vertical speed with this thing with that prop going. So I like how it warned me that my batteries were dying, so I'm like, whatever, ignore. Turn on the battery, shut the screen off. That means the problem's gone, right? One of the things I like about the other variometers, they go boo when you start getting a little bit too low. Come on. Come on. Give me that lift. Gimme. Gimme. There we go. I can't believe I'm 20,000 feet up right now. This is amazing. All right. Nice. Sweet. All right, we're back on course. Couple taps of trim. My initial instinct is to keep climbing, but believe it or not, we're going to have a real problem losing altitude in a second. Because what we're going to have to do is get over that mountain range, and I'm just about confident that we're going to clear it. Right there. Prepare for a lot of angry beeps. Come on, finish slowing down. And let's start our descent. There we go. Sweet. All set. Down we go. Yeah, if you ignore the problem long enough, it goes away. Absolutely. There we go. Kind of swing back this way. And I think I'm pretty much right on. We can start getting ready for landing. Now, landing this thing is going to be an interesting experience because normally, we burnt up a lot of fuel or something. But the reality is we've burnt no fuel to get to this point. We basically run up a little bit of battery, but that's not really going to affect it. Man, a loaded alarm, you are brave. I don't know. I'd love to try that, but I'm going to wait until I get to this ridge so there's a good chance I'll actually make it safely. Dude McDonald, killing it, man. Killing it. And Lafarag, I'm sure, is right off my right wing there. There we go. Come to this side just a little bit. Now, let me go ahead and check the wind here. It is a north-south runway. The wind at the destination is, let me see here, local to it is 030 at 4 knots. So I'm in a left base situation for where we're going to be landing here. Let's see if we can spot the runway. I believe it is a fairly long runway, so we shouldn't have too much difficulty getting there. I'm basically going to come right over the top of here and slowly start losing all this lift here. Well, he's underground somehow, so he must have some new technology we're not familiar with in Flight Sim. And he is, oh man, good job, Loaded Alarm. Much more brave than I in a live stream. I'm actually going to push the nose over a little bit here. I know this is like just dangerous, but I know I can make it across that ridge. Completely confident that I'm going to make it. All right, come this way just a little bit. Getting blown off course here. There's a bit of a wind. There we go. And I think I see the runway. There it is. We made it, everyone. This is awesome. I can't believe it. So going back to what I was saying about, like I said, teachers. It's like I'm not going to ask everybody in the chat to talk about their most influential teachers. I'm not like that. But one of the other fun things about being a teacher, as many of you know, is there's a sort of it encroaches a bit into your private life. It's one of those situations where a lot of things I can say and do on a YouTube channel are very limited compared to what I can do elsewhere, knowing somebody can discover it and be like, aha, you said X, Y, Z. Junior, we're going into Sierra Alpha 42. It's a Santa Maria. So if you're looking for that airport or you want to meet us there, feel free. But one of the comments people always say is, why don't you create like a big Discord or something like that? And it's very difficult for me to do something like that on account of the fact that, that's a big public social media. If somebody gets on there and says something, whatever, and all of a sudden I'm associated with it, that's going to be problematic. So it's just one of those little kind of things you have to just kind of accept. All right, there we go. And we're going to go and line up. I love the fact that the VNO and VNA, you have to go all the way around the needle once to get to it. That's awesome. All right, let's lose a lot more altitude here. I'm going to see what I can do as far as ride those ridges down. I'm going to start hearing the wind pick up speed. And all the beeping stopped. This is the fastest we've gone so far. And whoever built the battery and electric prop for this thing, nice. You did well. You did well. I was thinking about it, AB Photos. Actually, that was one of the things. I really wish I could have a discussion with all my subscribers at one time. I guess that's what the community page is for. I was thinking about actually disabling monetization on YouTube and switching just to Patreon. And the reason being is I think somebody said it pretty well the other day, where they're basically like, you know, if it's something you want to support it. But instead of having to put up with all the advertisements and everything else that kind of comes along with it. And also, like, as much as I love YouTube to death, it's unfair. It just really is. And I'm not going to get up on a soapbox or anything. But I think you folks, you read the news. You know exactly what I mean by a lot of these things. All right, starting our descent. I was extremely conservative on this flight, and it actually ended up working great. Nicely done. That's the real-world pilot of mine kicking in there. I'm actually going to be a little reckless here. Because there's this really neat little ridge and like this little valley, and I would love to fly through it. I'm actually going to come to the right a little here. I'm going to go through that valley. Like I said, I would probably go to the my community page and ask a question. That would be a question that would have to be up for a few months. The real problem, though, with switching over to a Patreon or something along those lines is the fact that then I'd have to go back over all of my old videos, edit the descriptions, and pop that link in. Not to say I can't, but I have more than 750 videos or something now, so that would definitely take me a couple minutes to go through. All right, I'm going to go into this valley. This just looks so cool right off my 12 o'clock here. Take advantage of the fact there's plenty of lift down there. Whee! Whoop! Red line, red line. Don't sink, don't sink. Sink rate, pull up. So in the aviation class that I teach at my high school, which is a lot of fun, one of these days I have to get a ground flight instructor certified. I could just take the test and get it. So at some point I have to do that. Thank you, Higher Resolution. I appreciate it. Sometimes I always like to joke, if you make the video that you'd want to watch, other people want to watch it too. Are you making fun of my dirt airport I picked? Don't make fun of that. No. That's the airport. What'd you think it was? Something nice? Oh man, I gotta lose a lot of energy. Speed brakes. Look like bleachers. Y'all make fun of my choice airports. Okay, I see exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I know, I'm getting a little fast. Hey, I came all this way to do some aggressive gliding, and I have plenty of speed, and I still have battery, so I'll be fine. I just want to go zipping into this little valley here. This is just so cool. All right, let's do some quick calculations here. I'm doing 270 kilometers per hour, which is way past the red line. My drag ratio is 40. My lift to drag rate there, yeah, I can make it. I can actually get very low. Head up a little bit. I'm going to enjoy going through this dangerous run. Hey, look at me. I'm Toro now. All right, here we go. Let's see how close my math was. Okay. So my math says I should be doing about, I think it's 145-ish if I'm the envelope here. Nope, it looks like we're going to make it. Whee! I'm a fighter jet now. This requires a lot of concentration, believe it or not. Look how amazing this is. There we are. Still got plenty of airspeed here. I'm actually going to bring that nose up a little bit. I would love to continue cruising down into the valley. No, I'm going to make it. Yes, I know I'm redlining. I just love the sound. Well, the joke on this one, High Resolution, is the fact that I actually had to take a Cessna 172 to get up here. Oh no! Sorry, Toro. Yep, I've learned my lesson from doing enough of these live streams that if you try to do it with damage turned on, you're going to embarrass yourself. I don't know what's up with that, but it always seems to happen to me. All right, folks. Somehow, despite my ridiculously poor planning on my part, I think we might actually make it to our destination. This is such a beautiful country. Could you imagine standing on the top of that mountain and turning your head and seeing that? Also, the altitude sickness is starting to get me a little bit here. We're still about 8,000 feet up. I still have plenty of speed left. Look at that. Toro Don, FU, Sierra Alpha 42. Oh, there's somebody. Good job, dude. Whoa! You are a little bit more brave than I. My battery died. Well, it's not that you needed to, like, see anything. It's not like I have instruments or anything. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to be landing this one truly dead stick because I have nothing. It's all gone. It all died on me, which actually surprises me a tiny bit because it's like, really? The battery does not last that long? But on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I was running that motor pretty hard for a while there, so it doesn't surprise me. Of course, why would you keep two batteries on the same circuit is beyond me, but that's just me. All right, we got to do a nice little left base here and pop ourselves down to Santa Maria. Dios mío. Now, the interesting thing is, hablo español, más o menos. So one of the things I've always entertained is, avión en español, but that could be kind of embarrassing. Now, this is a strange problem because my nose is down and I just can't get rid of the last little bit of lift I've created. And of course, there's this massive little blue goodness here. I'm actually going to shut that down real fast. Because why not? Let's make it scary. There we go. Now, for those of you who remember playing MSFS back in the day, one of the problems you would face is you'd see these those little thermals and things like that, and you'd see these little birds circling. But what would happen is you'd smack your Cessna 172 in it, and you'd have like 2,000 feet per minute vertical, and like you couldn't control the aircraft, and those were always fun. All right, let's kind of swing this way. I love that the wings are just so mesmerizing. Also, I hate to say it, but X-Plane had that first. All right, let's go ahead. I just love that. It's so amazing. Left base for 3-6, I think. All right, left base 3-6. Not like we can go around. Now, my initial instinct is to just pull it right into there, knowing I've got no engine. But I'll do it. Oh, geez, you're going to put me on the spot. This thing's impossible to land without scraping the wings. It's literally, you can't do it. I'm decent, but I'm not that decent. Okay, I hate to say this, but I'm actually too high to land. This is crazy. I cannot get over this thing. This is actually much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. All right, I'll come swing over here. Say hi to the nice little smiling people up there. I actually have to lose some energy here. Oh, my gosh. It's one of my favorite things to do in a glider. I just love watching the wings go, ah! See? No, Saki. All right, let's come swing around here. Rick, I don't, that was an overhead approach. I could do that in a Cirrus. My bigger concern now is I'm doing like 200. I gotta slow down. So these gliders slip amazingly, by the way. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this. Oh, I'm gonna make it! Oh, so you remember how my battery died? I have no battery. I can't put my wheels down. So, well, this is an unfortunate ending for me because all the effort in the world is, there's not much we can do. We can't deploy our landing gear. So this is going to be what they call a spark landing, named for Senior Sparks, who likes to land his planes without wheels. And that's plenty. And kill these speed brakes. There we go. I love it. You just kill it. Look at this thing. I could probably glide for days. Oh, yes, AB Photos. You're right. Whoa! That's a glider. I forgot that they did that. Yes, I'm actually really excited about the Cirrus Vision. They have that in X-Plane, and I swear to you, it's like flying a UFO. Did everybody hear the sound? Ha-ha! We made it! We're here! Ha-ha! Alright, folks, we have reached the... Oh, cancel. That would have been a mistake on my part. Somehow we made it. We made it all the way here. I cannot believe that we actually did that. Do you have any... We've traveled like 80 nautical miles to get here, and we jump... Hey, how you doing? And we only had to tap the motor a few times there, but we actually physically made it. Yes, I destroyed the glider because no wheels. But this is incredible. This is incredible. All right, I'm excited. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go do some slowing here. Is there even an airport around here that we can see what seems to be a good spot? There we go, by the windsock. All right, and we'll go park here real quick. Normally, of course, I smash up the aircraft into some lake or something nearby. But, like, part of me feels like that's just not appropriate because of all the incredible effort that it took us to get here. So I'm just going to kind of enjoy the moment. Oh, by the way, my wheel came back. And we sink off to one side. Oh, man, what a trip that was. All right, so if you'd like to join me for the photograph, please swing on by. I'll quickly take that picture, and then we'll see how many flips we can do before we crash into the ground or something like that. All right, let's see where everybody else is. Oh, they all made it down to that side of the runway. They'll find me, don't worry. There they are. Whoa, somebody went by. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Like, legitimately, I did not think we were going to make that. I really, really did not. I was expecting to have to slew half this flight. And incredibly, the glider made it that distance. That's impressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a nerd. All right, let's do some damage now. All right, so that too hard thing. We'll go ahead and crash it. As usual, when we get to the end, if anybody has any questions, concerns, comments, something you would like to see, this is a great time to go ahead and say it. Looks like I've got some reading to do about the Airbus A310, so that'll be fun for me. All right, I've got my picture. I'm going to go ahead and go up. Let's make this, we'll go ahead and make this, oh, that's uncomfortable. Whee! All right. What is the maneuvering speed on this thing? Anybody know? Oh, the blood's rushing to my head. Thanks, Junior. I appreciate it. Like I said, just wanted to try something different. This is great. Holy smokes. Is anybody else seeing this? I am so impressed. I've been missing out. I have been missing out. Sorry, I'm being a kid. All right, that was not expected. I did not think this thing was going to be that maneuverable. So now I can't smash it. Thanks. And thanks, of course, for everybody joining us tonight. Like I said, wanted to try something a little different. I'm thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly impressed. And again, about 2 weeks from now, we'll do something special. I think we're actually going to do a double header one of these nights. So keep an eye out for that one. We'll probably do like an 11, and then we'll also, of course, do our usual kind of 7 o'clock here. I'm thinking about doing something else with helicopters because I enjoyed myself thoroughly, but it might also be amusing to try something else with whatever it is. A G aircraft. Turbo Arrow. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, I should not be able to do that, just for the record. All right, folks, thank you always for joining, and enjoy.